It's still thinking. Isn't it fun? I was like, all right, I'm all about this pillow. Live! Hello and welcome from Boulder, Colorado, or Superior, Colorado, wherever this is in Colorado. Welcome to Joy, Colorado. Joy Lorado. It's a great place. Joy Lorado. Hmm. Thank you for being here. This sweet satsang. Hmm. For those who may be new to satsang, anyone in here new to satsang? Okay, wonderful. Yes, so true. It's so true. So the fun thing about satsang is that everyone's always new to satsang. Everyone's always new to satsang. And satsang, it's a Sanskrit word that means in association with truth. So sat means truth, and then sang is from the word sangha, which is a community of like-minded, like-hearted beings. So it's a coming together to take a vacation from the overemphasis of our stories and our identities and all of our assumptions and all of our beliefs, even and especially maybe the spiritual ones. So, any concepts, any ideas, just allowing them to be here and maybe noticing something that has never been stuffed into a pocket of information, or that has never been stuffed into a body, or has never been stuffed into a soul, something that remains totally vast, open, and free. And to explore. And, what I love is that this is absolutely equal with all of us. It's not like we're in a space where someone has more energy than another person, or this person has a different energy, or that could be valid in certain dreams, in certain situations. How exciting. This is a moment of noticing that there's essentially no one here. If I look and notice, oh, I don't exist as I imagine myself to be, there's no one else here. It's the same. It's true for every other human being. So, what's amazing in this space is that we grow up in this wondrous matrix where there's a lot of encouragement to be something separate. There's a lot of encouragement to identify with a name, with a culture, with a body, with a gender, with a religion, with a way of looking at things, with a way of seeing things, with a belief system, a cosmology. Wondrous, wondrous, wondrous. It's all made up, all make believe. We don't even forget. It's not like we're taught all of these things and we're told, okay, I'm going to tell you all this stuff, but it's complete fantasy. It's totally made up. None of it is actually founded on substance and reality, but you're going to believe that it is. I'm going to teach it to you like it is. A tree's a tree's, a rock's a rock, or this or that, or that's or that. Wondrous. And again, this isn't saying that any of that's wrong. All of that is so adventurous and wondrous. And at the same time, wow, the harm it has caused, the horrors, the pain, the trauma, the abuse, the violence. Innocently, I use the word innocent, regardless of the crime, regardless of the expression. In from this space of awareness, it's like until you know, you know. When you don't know, you don't know. Until you're aware, you're aware. When you're not aware, you're just not aware. Uh, when we are when there's an overemphasis, when there's this indoctrination into separation consciousness, believing I'm something, someone separate, um, all kinds of stories. It's like the fertile ground to believe all kinds of thoughts, uh, and all kinds of ideas and all kinds of concepts. Anyone want to share some stressful concepts that may have come up throughout life? That experience of life, some stressful beliefs. We could say some are I'm separate from God. I should. I should be better. I should be stronger. I should be as pretty as Sally. I should throw the ball as far as Luke. So many different. I should. They should. There's a me. We move into the space of, separation is categorizing. So descriptive intelligence, where everything is based on everything else. In order for you to exist, you need a chair to exist, and you maybe need a planet to exist, maybe a certain constellation to exist. To talk about your sign, maybe you need this and that everything is in relation to everything else. In the wondrous world of mind, the distortion of mind, the down a fractal rock, the fractal of thought, infinite fractals of this unquestioned assumption, unquestioned identification, unquestioned concepts. Wondrous, wondrous, wondrous. Hello, love. So wondrous. And how sweet to recognize. We could say that there's been a lot of concepts. Wow. Talk about concept lasagna, layers upon layers upon layers upon layers of all these ideas and interpretations and definitions and identities. And what's so beautiful about satsang and this moment is that we discover in our willingness to rest, to relax completely, openly, as this that is already open, this that is already relaxed, that no matter how many thoughts or concepts, this that you are as wild, untamed consciousness itself, forever free, naked, undressed, never covered, never obstructed, never uh, tamed, never diluted. The purity of your being fully present, fully intact here, not needing anything to happen, not needing anything not to happen, just as the moment is. Sometimes in our storyland, we also have a whole storyland on spiritual matters that we imagine are different than mundane thinking, but it's all just mind. And in the spiritual matters, we can say we have certain paths, and it's wonderful. I like talking about, permission slips, the permission to use certain concepts and certain ideas and certain rituals or certain ceremonies or certain sacraments as a way to finally relax enough, as a way to finally soften enough, as a way to finally open enough to notice what's here, what's always been here, what will always be here. To notice the stainless, pristine, shimmering brightness of your being, the beingness. When different paths speak to what is, this is what they speak to. This that you are now. This that you are now, without one chakra needing to get aligned, even though that could be totally fun, without anything happening in your field and the different layers of your field, even though that could be totally fun, without having to cut any cords, without having to do anything to your assemblage point, without having to alter the perception of one's experience without having to shift dimension to dimension to dimension, or if you're a fan of law of one, density to density to density, this moment free of all of that wondrous elaboration of mind, beloved, mind, just mind. I have oh yes, what you always say.
I want to say you talk about permission slips,
Oh,
but I hold it as poetic license.
poetic license. I love that too. Poetic license, right? You better get it with your poetry. Yes. I even hear some people speak of it as concessions. Yeah, so fascinating. I love that poetic license. Yeah, the perceptual poetry of phenomena, endless, wondrous. And there is something here that remains unspoken, unknown, untold. What I love about this moment and this honor of sharing is that every word is an attempt. Everything is a fail. Fail, fail, fail to speak to it. Fail to speak to it. Fail to speak to it. This again beyond words, beyond the wondrous power and the limitation of language and symbol. This closer, beyond. Yeah. So I love failing. So it's quite the relief in a moment of considering, oh wow, I don't have to do anything right now to be the fullness that I already am. My mother doesn't have to do anything. My family lineage doesn't have to do anything. My guru doesn't have to do anything. My this doesn't have to, that doesn't have to. It's like, oh wow, I can just stop for a moment and open and notice the fundamental well being of all existence that allows all dream of something existing to come and go, to rise and fall, totally present and stable, just as you are. Yeah. Mhm. It's so fun. So very fun and so very sweet. What I love about the practical applications of noticing this is this moment is pure benefit. This moment is uncontrived altruism, uncontrived kindness. This moment is a genuine heart. This moment is available to be full devotion to itself and service to itself. The moment responds to whatever is needed. And what I love about that, again, in the practical realm of human beings interacting with other human beings, is in this availability, we have access to and exist as the full, unbounded intelligence of universal consciousness. It's like the universal intelligence available here, right where you sit, in a usable way, in an effective way. Universal intelligence with hands and a voice and arms and a willing intellect, a willing heart. In other words, we meet the moment as a fresh intelligence, fresh, spontaneous solutions, fresh, spontaneous creativity. We're no longer attempting to drag the past and place it on the unique sacred geometry that is the moment. It's so exciting. So very exciting. Yeah. And that's where I love that maybe at one time in the human story, as things are told, something called enlightenment or self realization, self illumination seemed kind of mysterious and mystical and something only uh, for the few, only for those who were born under a specific auspicious star, or those who meditated for 70 years in a cave, or those who were touched by Anandamayama, or whoever it might be. And what I love about, because of all of that unfolding, and let's say I love the story of honoring our ancestors and honoring our masters, the ancestors of our teachers, of our spiritual teachers. And I like the story that in their willingness to tell the truth at whatever age they have appeared, always only ever this moment. And in their willingness, they've lubricated the atmosphere, lubricated the consciousness just enough where this recognition, where this realization, where this ordinary noticing of the truth of what is available to everyone, available to all, available to every human being, whether they're spiritual or not spiritual, whether they like crystals or don't like crystals, whether they meditate or don't meditate, whether they like mala beads or don't like mala beads, whether they like to chant or not chant, whether they like to read Anne Rice books or the autobiography of a yogi. Right, no restraint or restriction. This is available, ordinary, and here for all of us, for every human being on the planet. And it's so exciting. I love it, 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 I love it. And a song that comes to mind, can you pass me the little shaky little bush, that bush thing? I'll have two of them. Hey. Push, push, push in the bush. Remember that song? Hey. So there's this song that came through that speaks somewhat to that. That says, "Oh, you know what? Let's have even more fun with it, and let's use a little drone." Playing from ash, sparkles, 2 hearts. Okay. Let's see. Let's do it in the key of. Beloved, beloved beings, beloved beings of breath. The moment has arrived, the planets have aligned. There is nowhere to hide. Liberation's here. The beloved beings of breath. That wishes now come true. There's nothing left to do but give yourself to truth. A liberation's here. Liberation's here. Not to the truth of governments or religions and their leaders, not to the truth of yesterday, tomorrow, or believers, but to the truth awake and vivid. Here is all that's perceived, that truth that knows your name and gives your lungs each breath you breathe. The truth that stares all in the face and only sees itself. The truth that sets a story free, with love and nothing else. Be still and know. Be still and know. Be still, be still. Notice what's already still. Notice what's already still. And no, no, no. Oh, I am. I am, I am. Beloved beings of breath, you always have been free. So caught up in this dream, sometimes it's hard to see the liberation's here. Liberation's here, liberation's here. The liberation that knows liberation was never needed. For only things can be liberated, only things get defeated. And you are not a thing that, you are not a thing that, you are not a thing that comes and goes. You're not a thing at all. You're not a thing that's in the realm of big or small. You are not a thing at all. Things, 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 things. You are liberation itself. You are the one that liberates. You are the one that liberates. Every aha moment is the mind liberated from itself. Every realization's but the mind liberated from itself. But you're here, endlessly still, endlessly silent, endlessly vast, endlessly present. Not caught up in the idea of someone getting it or not getting it, or opening or not opening, or learning or not learning, or realizing or not realizing. No, 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 no. That only belongs to the character. That was never a real thing to begin with. You, as aware, loving intelligence here. You as aware, loving intelligence here. You as aware, loving intelligence here. Be still and know. Be still and know. I am. I am. I am. I am. This that is may sing a little song to itself. But let's be here and see if a conversation wants to come through. What is your experience? What have you been noticing? What have you realized? Is there anything that still appears to be an obstacle or something that seems very convincing that it is something that's very convincing? Or if there's something that was inspired by something that was said. Yes.
It's good to see you, by the way.
I love
Been
seeing
a
you.
while.
I know.
The less I have attention on content
Okay.
going perfectly, mind, what I'm
Yeah.
talking about, and put it and pay attention to where it arises,
Yeah.
like the container that it's like putting attention on itself.
Yes.
Things are so much easier,
Hallelujah.
and a reasonable portion of my days are spent like that, and my meditation practice has changed where most of my meditation is just that. It's the awareness.
Yes.
It's like awareness turning. I don't like that description, but because I just don't. It doesn't. It's the only way I know how to point at it. It's like
love it.
awareness, paying attention to itself.
Yes, so
Kinda.
good. Awareness, paying attention to itself. I so love hearing that. Yeah.
Yeah, like
This
not
is what we don't
complicated.
usually do.
Right.
This is the sweet grace in the matrix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I'm noticing that whatever does rise, it's not alone. For me, I've noticed that a remarkably large amount of my loneliness has been driven by thoughts. I could see a bunch of my thoughts relying on other thoughts for identity.
Right.
And then
Yeah.
avoid, indulge, replace,
Oh,
and that all that falls apart.
Yes.
But what's still there?
What's still
There's
here?
always a still there.
Yes. What's still here? Yes.
And it's not complicated. It's just not.
Right. Not at all. Yes.
I know a lot of people who I have discovered that I have been wrong about whatever's been called woo-woo.
How exciting.
And it's content.
Right.
Special skills.
Right.
Wonderful.
Right.
I've encountered a few of them.
Yeah. All the
Wonderful.
CDs. Mm-hmm.
There's stillness.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just not complicated.
So I'm so happy to hear this. This is what a gift. Yeah.
And it allows me to be more functional in more complex ways.
Mm-hmm.
But there's no grabbiness.
Yes.
It's like it
Yes.
informed, like the content that comes up gets some freedom to be more of what it is. Kind of.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just
beautiful.
not mystical.
How wondrous, right?
I mean, and it obviously can be.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. As clear, ordinary as day, and a great mystery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Drop would carry water. It holds,
Okay.
yeah,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
yeah.
So good.
It keeps getting less and less complicated.
Uh-huh.
So,
Yeah, I love hearing that. Yeah. And so beautiful to just hear that as an option throughout our day. So much of our day, we experience our moments through the filter of all of our stories, through the ideas of what should be happening, what shouldn't be happening, all the different arguments that we have as reality. But for a moment, to just allow that to be as it is. And in that, very alive option to notice what's aware of the content, to and then to rest as that awareness, to rest as that awareness. Yeah.
yeah, and I learned an interesting point of view, an interesting meditation. It's a
Oh,
thing to
fun.
do, but it seems to
Yes.
empower this.
So sweet. Uh-huh.
If I look at that right now,
Mm-hmm.
if I give attention to the container rather than the content,
Yeah.
what's the word? Awareness is
Right.
it's ease.
Yeah.
Like right now, it's just ease.
Yeah.
My experience of it.
Yeah.
Vibrant.
Right.
Like context. It's all contextual.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. It's like experience of smoothness, like easy.
Yes. Yes.
And there's also vibrance and yeah, and the more even like in my body starts to feel it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it
Yeah.
brings us right to where we already are.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And to me, there always seems to be, it's probably not the right word, but it's the right one for me. There's
Yeah.
also some density and fullness, like a really packed
Yes.
fullness to the edge
Yes.
without it being crowded.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So beautifully put. This is satsang.
And the funny
Yeah,
thing is
thank you
that can keep,
from speaking as this.
yeah,
Yes.
and that can keep,
Mm.
there's an infinite amount of ways to say it, so I'll stop. So,
Oh, but I love it. Woohoo! Yeah, so kind. So kind, this option. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so kind, this option. Yeah. You would like to share something? Can you pass in the mic? Oh, fun.
It is, to just honestly to
Okay.
keep things simple, to really
Yay, simple.
leave things as they are, accept things as
Yes.
what it is, and yet to not overcomplicate things in the sense of like just the acceptance, to truly know and understand that
Yay.
honestly, like we tend to overcomplicate things that we don't need to,
Right.
you know.
Yeah. Wisdom to recognize that tendency. Mm-hmm.
It's an
Yeah.
ideal idea to stay simple. We have that hope. That's one of our virtues, yeah. Uh, I don't know what else to speak on at the moment, but
Yeah.
I definitely appreciate the opportunity of being here.
Yay. Well, thank you. I so appreciate that. And again, these very useful permission slips. It's kind of like in this using the language to invite someone to consider allowing everything to be as it is. It's an interesting concept for some people. It's like, oh wow, okay, let me play around with that. People that I work with, I even invite them to go and purchase an infinite allowing shawl that they can put on. It's like, okay, this is my shawl. Anytime that I'm in like I'm gonna stop and just put my infinite allowing shawl on, and I'm gonna allow my mind and my body And it's useful tricks and useful that helps us get familiar and helps us notice, oh, I am infinite allowing. I've always only ever been infinite allowing. At first, it seems something that we're doing and mastering, and then we discover, it's my nature. It's always been my nature. And same with the simplicity of being. It's something we do as like get familiar with it, and then it feels maybe we're a little off track, and then we go back and do the practice again. Wonderful.
The nature of things.
And as we continue deepening in that and getting familiar, we notice the simplicity has never not been itself. And that every apparent opposite of simplicity, detail, complication, elaboration, has served as the evidence of simplicity. Just as objects serve as the evidence of space, just as sound serves as the evidence of silence, just as movement serves as the evidence of what's always still, always here. We get familiar with what's not in the realm of opposites, closer, and that allows all the dance of opposites to have their play, their show, their theme song. Thank you for being a friend. Travel down the road and back again. My heart is true.
You're a pal and a confidant.
Hey,
And if I threw
threw
you
a party.
and invited everyone you knew,
Okay.
hey, you would see the biggest gift would be from me,
And
the
the
card attached would say,
thank you for
a friend.
yes. So much. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thank you for being a friend. That's so beautiful. Yes, 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 yes. Anyone else want to share something? Yes, that is the Golden Girls. That is Blanche, Dorothy, Rose, and Sophia. Hey. Would you like to? Can you pass the mic
Oh, absolutely. I'm not
to Ryan? Did you want to share something, Ryan?
I love everyone.
Sorry, you love everyone. It's so true. It's so true. I so feel that. Yeah. Yeah. And everyone loves you. And they never have to know it. Yes. Yes. Mm. Anyone else want to share something or explore something?
This time of year can be complicated, sometimes.
Yes, this time of year
This
can
time
be
of year can be
complicated.
complicated. Sometimes we just, you know,
He said,
yeah, which
especially if you're a
direction do we
bird.
fly? I mean, and where's the flock anyway? I mean,
Okay.
right?
Yeah,
You
but I
know,
hear you.
yeah, but when it comes to family and holidays
Right.
and the past and the future and of course the
Yes.
present, you know,
Yes.
and it can sometimes be such a heavy thing. And I've been single for a few years again now. I separated from my daughter's mother in 2019,
Okay.
and my daughter just grew up on me. She moved away last October, and
Wow.
so in a lot of ways, it's kind of the second, but almost the first in a real acceptance way of
Hmm.
me just you know I have a very short list, and
Yeah.
so it's you know, it's that mixed emotion thing where it's like, I'm always grateful and I'm happy and
Yeah.
I'm sad about not maybe not having as much family, but I'm also grateful that I don't have that type of burden sometimes as well. I mean, there's
Mm-hmm.
always a balance to everything. And
Yeah.
so, these cycles and circles, and I know that we all are going through this, especially in this time of year, as we end one year and
Uh-huh.
we grow into another,
Yeah.
looking towards aspirations and new things in the new year and doing our best to finish this one in the right
Mm.
way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's something that I just wanted to talk about and
I'm
share
so
for a
happy you
minute,
brought that up for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. This time of year, I know what a all the imagery, all the songs, all the
So much joy on
smells,
this.
all the flavors can evoke so many different things, can evoke all the joy, can evoke all the cheer, all the festivity, um,
Sharing.
the sharing, the caring, and can also evoke the heartache, the heartbreak, the
Yeah, there's a balance.
the sadness, yeah, and how beautiful to allow all of that to be
To
here.
accept things.
Right. Yeah, to accept. It's so, one thing that I love about this recognition is that it allows us to become even more human. Sometimes people are like, oh, I'm afraid to get into the space of infinite expanse of being because I don't want to lose my humanity. I don't want to lose my mommy. I don't want to lose my dad. I don't want to lose my children. I don't want to lose being a part of this world. I don't want to lose being engaged and
Now
participating.
encourage that though in a sense of
Right.
gratitude, letting it go
Can
because
you can you
that's now
can
a
you
whole other sense of growth, to be able
right.
to
Thank you.
recognize that no matter what happens, no matter, this is all, as we spoke of at the beginning,
Yeah.
it's all somewhat of a mirage. This is a shell that we live in. Our energy, our spirits, our love, our who we are, our souls.
Mm,
We will always continue, and we can't take anything or anyone with us. We are all still the spirit and the energy and who we are yesterday, today, and
okay.
beyond this
Right.
this thing.
Right.
And so in order to encourage ourselves and each other to let go of
Mm,
the things that sometimes we do hold so dear, is
right.
really beneficial to just know that that's inevitable, and to really accept to take that step towards something that is real growth and
Mm,
that next step and and achieving the elevated energy of
right.
our spirit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
such a sweet option. The inevitable. Every moment's over before it even begins. Let go. Right. Oh, so fun. Yay, elevation. Elevation. Come together in every nation. Holiday. Elevation. Come together in every nation. Yes.
Something came to me this morning. I went, oh yeah, we're just
Wait, I love that.
one,
Something came to me this morning. I went, oh yeah.
one,
Okay.
one big nuclear family
Yeah.
with both fission and fusion, and they
Oh,
fission and fusion,
all right.
and they both produce energy. So
Oh,
yeah.
lovely. Fission and fusion.
Nice.
Like a fun dip. You got fission and fusion. Yeah. Oh yes, the fun dip candy. Yes. I love it, that fun dip. Uh, Oh, this is a festive satsang. It's a fun dip, some of a satsang. It's so much, so much. It's so good, so good, so good. And so I just want to share anyone listening to this that may be. It's so fun that, in mentioning the holidays that may be experiencing a challenging time, that may be caught up, that it's totally okay, totally natural to have all the feelings, to have all the thoughts. Uh, in situations like that, what has helped me immensely is to just let the feelings be here. The moment we try to change them and fix them or push them away or eggnog them out of our minds, beloved, that's when it just continues to grow. What's that saying that you see a bumper sticker on a Prius? What you resist persists. You ever heard that one before? And so, beloved, if there's stuff stirring, it's like we get to discover that our very presence is the safe space. We get to be the safe space. If you're looking for a safe space, feel like you can't, for a moment consider giving the content of your emotional body, your internal landscape, in this moment being a safe space for all of that, being the satsang hall, being the refuge, being the depth of water, the still water, unaffected by the surface ripples. It's an option. Yeah. And if at any moment there's a persistent thought present that keeps coming up, uh, I should be here for the holidays. This should be happening. If only this person didn't do that last time, we would be a happy family again. Or if there's a storyline there that feels very heavy, you can question your thought. Sometimes we think we live in reality when we're mostly living in our heads, our version of reality. And that can always be questioned. Um, yeah, I love self inquiry. My favorite version of self inquiry is the self inquiry by this woman named Byron Katie, where you take a stressful thought, you ask 4 questions, and you turn that thought around. It's a way of turning up the volume of the loving awareness you are. Uh, it's like if there's something really scary and we take a moment to take a close look at it. Reminds me of, I think it was Gangaji telling the story with a grandchild. Does Grandma Gangaji have a grandchild? I think she was with her grandchild who was afraid of spiders and was like, ah. And then they took a giant, what do you call it? A magnifying glass. And they looked really closely at the spider and were just talking about its different parts and all of its eyes and bringing it closer. All of a sudden, the child wasn't scared anymore. It was like, oh wow, look at this. This is amazing. And that's very similar to questioning our scary thoughts or a scary situation. We bring it closer. Also, we have the amazing modern technology of high powered microscopes where something appears to be really solid. Imagine we can take something as adamantine and compressed as a diamond and put it under a high powered microscope and discover, oh wow, I thought it was like one of the most dense things in the universe and totally spacious. Molecules vibrating at a certain frequency. And then we can bring that even closer and dive into those molecules, into the atoms, and then bring that even closer and dive into the subatomic particles and the quarks and the neutrons flashing in and out of existence. Nothing but space. And this is for a couch and a diamond and a toenail and a thing and a thing and a thing and a thing. Imagine with something as effervescent as a thought that we think is so solid, as an identity we imagine is so solid, an egoic construct we imagine is so solid. But to question it, bring it closer, it's like taking mist and saying, "Come here, mist," bringing it to sunlight. Yes. Only sunlight remains. Only what's true remains. Who we are remains. And then the sweetness of meeting our world from that space. How do you react when you believe the thought that you can't sit next to Aunt Kathy because with the sound of the way she chews the turkey? Who knows what the thought may be? That's the beauty of suffering. It's relative. And so to take a moment, who would I be without that thought? Oh, well, you're available to, look at this, beloved, enjoying that turkey. You better schmackety schmack, schmack, schmack. Each bite, beloved, yes. All them nutrients. I'm so happy she's still eating. Those, I mean, so you're available to so many other wondrous phenomena and ideas. What else she gonna sound like? What's gonna happen when she gets the pumpkin pie? I mean, it's the world opens up so many more options instead of oh my god, which is totally okay too, so innocent, but we're only ever reacting to our own story. It has nothing to do with Miss beloved Aunt Kathy. It's our story that we react to. Nothing to do with the outside world. Where the war, the suffering begins, here. Where it ends, here. Where it begins, here. This is another bumper sticker on a Prius from beloved Gandhi, who at one point said, "Be the peace you wish to see in the world." A big part of the how to be the peace you wish to see in the world is learning the technology of questioning your thoughts. It's so fun. It's so fun. I so appreciate you. Yay. Bye, head. Oh, look. It's with those birds leaving the winter, going south for the winter. And like a flight path of a bird. Leaves no trace of the traceless, place of the placeless. Anyone else want to share something or explore something? Anyone have a stressful thought that seems really real and persistent that you'd like to question? So I can't find one. I can't find one. I keep on looking. Nothing there. Nothing there. And speaking of headless, if you'd like to explore more of the headless way, there's a beloved named Douglas Harding that has beautiful pointings and writings and audiobooks and interviews on YouTube. Endless exploration of the vast headless one you infinitely are. I totally recommend some Douglas Harding. So very sweet. So very sweet. He was a beloved who was totally believing his thoughts and in his mind and identified took a trip up the Himalayas, looked out at the vast expanse, and had a moment where he noticed, I don't have a head. I've never had a head. I've never seen my head, never seen my face. I've only seen other heads, but just because I've seen other people with heads doesn't mean I got one. Maybe when I see someone else's head, that's my head. Oh, there's my head. I don't have a head. There it is. There it is. There it is. Vast expanse. No beginning, no end. No inside or outside. Pure, aware, loving shine of being. Now, as the moment is now. Very good. Anyone at home watching that'd like to text me a question? Feel free to do that.
Flame from ash, sparkles, 2 hearts.
That's so much fun when I'm in ceremony and that plays. Oh, okay. The little sound. Yes. Mm. I love you. So honored. So very honored. Yay. Well, let's take a moment to again allow this awareness. It already doesn't need to, but as a permission slip, it can be nice to just feel into any facet of our lives that we imagine can use a little extra awareness, a little extra vast expanse of okayness, stability, to allow this awareness to permeate every corner of our mind, every corner of our projected hologram. Nothing is held in a stone. There is no solid stone anywhere to be found. Truly solid, seemingly solid, yay! But space is, and that's the only ingredient here. And there's a particular circumstance or a situation that feels pretty solid and inevitable. This is also a moment of pure permission for it not to be held to any concept of cause and effect, any concept of this means that, that means this means this, that means this. Free, vast, open, not bound to any storyline. The past, well, I love how Byron Katie says, the best thing about the past is that it's over. My favorite thing about the past is that it's over. It's over. So it's so nice to be here as a fire of freedom and magic. And magic. This life, not bound to our ideas of the resources we have or don't have. This life, this next breath, this next step, not bound to our ideas of what our gifts are not, our talents are not, our capacity are not, what we have access to or not. Dreams have every right to unfold in every which space and direction. And this moment itself is a wondrous, magical, miraculous dream appearing to itself. Free. Let that burn any sense of a tomorrow that is not the full, obvious display of the freedom you are, of the love you are, of the ease you are, of the peace you are, of the magic you are, of the luxury you are, of the harmony you are. Let it burn any sense of limitation. Let it burn any sense of not enough. Let it burn I have a poem that says, "You've never not been the pure presence of love. You cannot experience there's not enough. For atoms keep flying right out of God's pocket. It's your face on the ID that God has in her wallet. No need to say it, but I'm going to call it. You've always been you and you've always been ballin'. Your name is Abundance Jackson. Your name is Prosperity Jenkins. Your name is Infinity Smith, exalting the reality of indescribable bliss. Your name is God Loves Me Gonzalez. Your name is God Is Me Ruiz. Your name is the sacred, immeasurable beauty that brings everything here to its knees. Your name is the sacred, immeasurable beauty. Mm, 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 mm. That brings everything here to its knees. Everything here to its knees. Delicious, a real option. Opulence, a real option. Love, a real option. Delight, a real option. Mind blown over and over again at the joy. Happy tears, a real option. Ecstatic, what the fuck, a real option. Ooh, I love this plot twist. A real option. This is the most amazing plot twist that could have ever motherfucking happened. Real option. Free, 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 free. Unbounded, unbounded, unbounded. I am the gods. And I also got a message on Grinder. I'm not going to read you that one. I'm not gonna read you that. Hey, yeah. Not your mama sad song. I am. Oh, thank you, beloved, so much for this sad song. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much for the sweet time together. I so look forward to this holiday season unfolding in the luminosity of this very moment. Even as there appears to be a day going by, and a week going by, and a month going by, and a season changing, take a moment to notice still this moment, still here, unwavering. That you are not something that appears in that. All of that happens within you. Happens within you. Notice as you travel, meeting family, you, body may appear to be traveling, but you, stillness, places appear in you, planets appear in you, dimensions appear in you, dreams appear in you, densities appear in you. You can have an out of body experience, but you can never have an out of awareness experience. Always conscious, always home, home itself, home itself. Yes, thank you, loves. Feel free to leave a donation either online, Cash App, Zelle, Venmo, or you can leave one in that little pocket thing over there. And I'm here for another 4 weeks before I travel to Hawaii again. So would love to see you. You're welcome to come and welcome to watch this live on YouTube every Monday at 7 p.m. I'll be here for another 4 or 5 weeks. Thank you so much. And it's you end the YouTube. I mean the Zoom. You end the Zoom. Thank you, love. Bodhi's so funny. Bodhi jokingly calls themselves the sound devotee.
Yeah.
Jokingly. So they're like, I wonder who's going to be the sound devotee tonight. Joke, they know.